Welcome back to this second tutorial of Platform Builder. We're going to look at your workstation and how to start building your games. So let's get back to the empty game we created in the previous tutorial. I want to start in the course editor. So I'll open the menu, go to Level Manager, and select my area. So your workstation is everything you see down here. This is where you can select your music, your background, settings, save. The in-game manual is down here. There's a bunch of tools at the bottom, and on the left is your item box. The item box displays all of the different items you get to choose from to populate your game with. So if I select blocks, my selection shows up down here. And then I can click anywhere in the game window to place a block. I can right-click to delete. I can click and drag for multiple blocks. I can right-click and drag to delete multiple blocks. Keep in mind that you cannot place items if any of these three tools are enabled. If you try, it will let you know. We'll talk about those later. If I want to change my selection, I go back to the item box, or I can click on the name down here to find something this way. Many items also have subcategories. These blocks, for instance, have several different types that I can scroll through using these up and down arrows, or just press the up and down arrow on my keyboard, or use the mouse wheel. Or we have the tile set viewer. Click here and look at that. I can see them all and I can select the one I want. Some items, like this ground, has a lot of subcategories, and that is where the tiled display becomes especially useful. I can press the hotkey T to open that back up. To work even faster, I can press T or click on the tile viewer again while it's already open, and it will shrink the tiles to the top right of my view. From there, I can use the arrow keys on my keyboard to move around as I go and start building things more efficiently. Now, with these tiles, there's even a faster way with the Smart tool, and we will look at that in a future video. If we go back though to the item box, you will notice that you can click and drag things around. This is nice to organize, but it can also be useful because of these buttons down here. This arrow moves your selection from left to right, top to bottom. The other arrow goes in reverse. This means that if you have only a couple items you keep using, you could place them next to each other and then use these arrows to go directly between them. Your left and right arrows on the keyboard will do the same thing. Some of these items in your item box are for custom items. So for example, I can go to Game Setup and create a custom enemy. Change the look, the speed, etc. And when I am done, I find that custom enemy by going to this item, and then instead of a tile viewer, I will be able to open the manager for custom enemies, select the enemy I want. In this case, there's only one to choose from. And now I can place my custom enemy. I can even take this custom enemy, add it to my item box, and it appears right there for quick access. If I select my enemy and press delete on the keyboard, I can delete it. Truth be told, I can delete any of these things. I can save my new layout. I can restore it to default. Or let's say I delete blocks and I want to bring that back. You'll always have it under this finder. If I select blocks, it will return back to my item box, and I can move it back to where I want it. Maybe I'm trying to work back here on the far left side of my level, and the item box gets in the way. I can press this little arrow here, and the item box jumps to the other side. If I don't want it to close after selecting an item, I can lock it here, and it will stay open. Notice also that when you change the subcategory of an item, it changes in the item box as well. But maybe you're used to finding blocks in your item box by looking at that green block, which is the default subcategory. If changing it around like that throws you off, you can press this little button here. It will make all the items in your item box display their default subcategory, even if the actual subcategory you have selected is different. Let's take a look at a few more things in your workstation. The Smart tool we will discuss in the next video. The Move tool lets you move items. Just drag and release. The Edit tool lets you edit items after they are placed down. Not all items have things for you to edit, but some do. For instance, I could place a sign that displays a message. And if I want to change the message, I click Edit. Now, with Edit enabled, you can see the sign is highlighted, and I can go back in there to change the message. The Copy tool works like an eyedropper. It lets you select any item already placed in your game to make that your selected item. And then the Free tool. By default, some things cannot be placed on top of other things, but if you want to override that, enable Free, and now you can place things over each other. Just be careful, there are reasons why some items are not meant to overlap. Right here is your view settings. You can zoom in or out using these arrows here. Alternatively, I can hold Control and go up or down with my mouse wheel. View settings also lets you adjust the scroll speed, which is the speed at which you move when you use the ASDW keys, and there's a few other settings in there as well. This button is for layers. It's a more advanced tool, so we'll talk about that in a future video. By default, your placement box is fixed to a grid so that everything you place stays aligned. This grid button lets you adjust or remove that grid, giving you better controls on exactly where you place something. For example, maybe I'm drawing a line of blocks here, but my cursor shifts a bit and it's not straight. Well, there's a fix for that. I can select a larger grid that aligns with my blocks. And now it will be easier for me to place more blocks without messing up. I can also remove the grid completely for exact placement. I can press Ctrl Z to undo all that, which is the same as pressing this button down here, Ctrl Y to redo, and we are back to how we left it. Area settings are right here. There's a bunch of controls for you to mess with. You can save with this button. Platform Builder does save automatically when you exit something. For instance, it just saved when I go to visit the area settings. It will save again if I go to a different area or whatever. And there are backups under the menu just in case something goes wrong, or maybe it saved when you didn't want it to. The test button will test your game. I'll need to drop down a character and something to stand on. So click Test. And there we go. Escape to get out of that. On the other far end is your in-game manual. Go here to review a lot of what we are discussing now. And then right above your manual, last but not least, is your assistant. This little guy will tell you about almost anything. All you have to do is right-click. For instance, I could right-click on any of these buttons. I can open my item box and right-click on an enemy. I can change the enemy and right-click again. If I go to the menu, I can right-click on any of these menu selections. You will learn so much by just right-clicking on things. If you want to speed it up, hold Q for quick. If you want to pause it, press P. P again to unpause. Press Escape if you want to quit out. You can also click directly on the assistant, and it will offer a few more things to learn about. Before we close up, let's hop over to the title screen editor. This item here is found in all of your editors, but it is particularly useful in your game screens because this is how you can place text. For instance, I would use this to display the title of my game. And there's a special subcategory which is only available in your title screen editor, and it is this one. This is your buttons for starting a new game or whatever. If you're in the Game Over screen editor, these buttons will be replaced with different buttons for what to do after you have a game over. And if you go to Settings of the title screen, that is where you can select where to start when you launch a new game. I'll go to the overworld. Of course, I'll need to drop a character down and place a level icon. From there, I choose which area I want this level to go to. I'll pick this area. So when I play the game, I will begin in this overworld, and that will take me to this area. When I finish the course, by touching an exit sign, it will take me back to the overworld. By the way, If you're placing down characters and level icons and Platform Builder keeps asking you for a spawn ID, that's because you're working in advanced mode. Just leave it at 1 for now. We will talk about that more when we discuss advanced mode in a future video. So there you go. Lesson 2, and already you have what you need to start building your game. I'll see you in the next tutorial where we will discuss even more tips and tricks for selecting and placing items. You won't want to miss it.